I have my son's mother living in my mom's house with me. I'm a kid. She could, what? No, don't come down here. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy URBEN CURRSE, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of UNDI TV, where everything is undiluted. And if you guys have not already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Go ahead and do that now, because I have way more content coming for you guys, and some of this stuff is a little out there, and you guys might want to tune in to hear these things. The last video, I ended off with my first love being shipped off to North Carolina and taken away from me, and like I was heartbroken. Now, like I told you the last video, during that whole time of her being away, I actually got with my son's mother before she was my son's mother. We started dealing with each other. That's a whole nother video of how we started dealing with each other, but I'm just gonna give a little backstory on that. We started dealing with each other. She got pregnant, and my mother allowed her to live in our house. Now, we just lived two doors down from each other, and that's a part of this story right here, that she lived 2 doors down from each other, and her mom was going through whatever they were going through. It's just a whole nother story, because I wound up getting put in that bull crap that they were going through. Now, during this time, like I said, we were living in the same house with my mother and everything, and I was still keeping in touch with my ex. We would write letters back and forth, and then the letters just stopped. I would send her a letter, wouldn't get a response back. So I just got to the point where I was just like, you know what, I'm just not gonna send any more letters, because I'm already heartbroken, and then I got in-house boo-boo here, you know what I'm saying? So let me deal with what I'm dealing with here, and then I could figure out some things. So there was a night where I literally was just sitting in the room chilling. I had a bunk bed, nothing was on the top. It was just like clothes on, not a bunk, I'm sorry, it was a bunk bed, but it wasn't a bed at the top. It was just like my clothes and stuff like that. And my son's mother was sitting next to me, and all of a sudden I hear my mother from downstairs saying, "Hey, Curse! Hey, Curse, come down here." My mother's Jamaican, so her accent is strong and all that stuff, so I'm not even gonna do the Jamaican accent. She calls me downstairs, and I'm like, what did she call me like that for? Like, what's going on with her? Everything's just been chilling. It's been cool. And this night, it's been raining. I'm talking about like pour down, like Florida type of pour down type of rains. Like, it was just coming down. Come down the steps, and when I come down the steps, I see Juliet standing there. Now, mind you guys, I have not seen this girl in a little over a year, maybe, or about a year, and she's just standing there. Now, mind you, my current girlfriend is upstairs pregnant with my soon-to-be son. When I tell you, my whole body went numb. Like, I felt like somebody hit me in my gut with like a 10-piece, but like with cinder blocks on their arms. Like, I just didn't know what to do. I was in so much shock. I looked at her and I was just like, what is she doing here? But at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's here. But at the same time, I'm like, what's gonna go happen with this upstairs? I come down the stairs, and my mother say that I'm like my father when it comes to this. I just started laughing. Like, I didn't know what else to do, and I just started like cracking up laughing. I didn't know what to do. So come down the stairs fully. She's standing there, and she's drenched. Like, it's pouring down outside. She's drenched. So I go to give her a hug. She said, no, hold on. I gotta go get my belongings from down the street. Now, the reason why she had to go get her belongings from down the street is because we used to actually live down the street, which was a whole nother story within itself. I'll tell y'all guys about that. And we wound up moving from down there to the house that we were in now, which is literally like maybe 10 houses down or something like that. Now, she goes get her belongings, and I'm such a shock. I should have went and go help her with her bags, but then I'm like, I shouldn't go help her with her bags, because I got this one upstairs, and then like I'm kind of violating if I leave here to go with her, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff running through my mind. I'm a kid at this time. Like, I don't know, I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. So I don't know really what to do in this situation. I've never been in this situation before. She literally just pops up out of nowhere. Remember, she stopped corresponding with me through letters. It wasn't no Facebook, it wasn't no Instagram, it wasn't none of that stuff. I think it was like Black Planet at the time. And Black Planet, you couldn't leave messages. It was a blog type of board type of thing. So you couldn't even do that. She comes back, she's, like I said, she's drenched. I give her a hug while she's wet. All of a sudden, I see my son mother start creeping down the steps, and she's like looking, she's like being real creepy, and like, which I understand, because you know, you got a guy that you think that you're with, or you are with, and his ex come out of nowhere. Now, a little backstory about my son's mother and my first love. My son's mother went to middle school with her cousin, not the cousin from the last video that introduced me to my first love, Juliet. It was her younger sister, her sister right under her, and they went to middle school with each other. So my son's mother actually knew of my first love before I even knew who she was, because her cousin used to tell her all types of stuff about her own cousin. Used to just talk trash about her and everything. They were jealous of her because she was bad. Like, she was bad compared to them. She was bad. Even till this day, she's better than them. Like, till this day, she just is. So she already had an indication of who she was, and she had a preconceived notion of, you know, this girl is that and this girl is that. And then she knew that I dated her and that I was in love with this girl. Well, she didn't know I was in love with her. She probably found out through her cousins that how much I felt for her and how everything, because I never talked to her about like, oh, you know, her uncle just up and took her. And if you want to find out what happened with her uncle and everything, go to the last video. So she, like I said, she's doing her little creepy thing, and she's like looking around the corner and looking under the steps, because like a little wall part right here, she's kind of looking under the wall. So Juliet, my mother lets her sit in the chair. Now, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm gonna say this, but my mother she loved Juliet. Like, when I tell you she loved her, to this day, she loves that girl. I always ask her why, because yeah, I digress. I'm sitting there and I'm just like still in this whirlwind, like, what am I gonna do? Like, my love of my life is here. I have my son's mother living in my mom's house with me. I'm a kid. I'm about to have a kid. I don't know what to do. Like, everything just hit like boom, like two bulls just crashing into each other type of thing. So I decided to go in the basement to clear my head, to just try to figure out what's going on. And I went in the basement, and I'm talking about, I was a nervous wreck in that basement. And I'm just nervous. I'm sitting there shaking. I'm laughing to myself, but it's a nervous laugh. It's not a laugh because it's funny. I'm just trying to figure out, what am I going to do in this situation? Like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know how she just showed up here. She literally just showed up. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear my mom say, "Oh, Juliet, you gonna go downstairs?" She go, "What? No, don't come down here. Not right now. Please don't come down here. Don't come down here. Don't come down here. Like, I need to think. So my mother was kind of a little set up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. She kind of set me up. She set me up a few times when it comes to girls. If she don't like another girl, she just put her little 2 cents in there, like, go ahead downstairs. So I'm downstairs, and I'm sitting on one end of the couch, and she comes and she's sitting on the other end of the couch. And she's just like, "What's up? Like, what's going on?" And I'm just saying to myself, like, yo, how did you get here? Like, where did you come from? How did you get here? Oh, I took a bus here. You took a bus here from North Carolina? Like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me you were coming? I don't know. I just wanted to surprise you, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, like, you could have told me what was going on, like, so I could be prepared for this. Now, at this time, my son mother never, ever used to check up on me. I had this old beat up robe that like it was like ripped underneath the underarms and all of that stuff like that. And my son mother decides to come to the top of the steps, and she says, "Hey, are you coming to bed anytime soon?" But she's like, I could see she has like she's kind of been crying, I guess, like, cause her eyes are a little puffy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be up there. But she doing this like, yeah, I'm in his robe. I'm like kind of like trying to like set that this is her territory, and you know, she lives here, and whatever the case may be, like, oh, whatever. So I decides to say, you know what, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna try to sleep this off. Maybe when I wake up tomorrow morning, this is a dream and she's gone and I don't have to deal with this. Because I was just hoping it was just a dream. Like, it felt like a dream because she just showed up out of nowhere. So fast forward to the next day. The next day, my mom is like conversating with Juliet, and they laughing and joking downstairs and everything. And then my son mother is in the room with me. Now, by that time, I decided to just chill, try to still get my head together. And my mom invited Juliet upstairs. Juliet comes to my room and sits on my bed that me and bruh, that both of us slept in. I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what to do. So I said, you know what? Let me get in the shower. Go in the shower. By the time I get out of the shower, my son's mother, I'm talking about, I maybe been in the shower, because I took a long shower that day. I think I took like a 30, 45 minute shower. I was just like, look, I ain't trying to get up out of here. This is my comfort zone at this point. Like, rain on me at this point. Man, I get out the shower and all I see is my son mother literally taking stuff out of the house. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with her. Like, where you going? She's like, I'm leaving. I'm going back to my mother's house. Now, her mother lived 2 doors down the way. Whole nother story about why she was even living with us. She's taking the stuff, and in my mind, I'm just like, I'm kind of happy she's leaving. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm kind of happy she's leaving, but at the same time, I'm like, it's the way she's leaving, because she waited till I got in the shower, and then she just like, start packing up her stuff real quick. But I think she was doing it the night before, I mean, and was just like already in her mind, like she felt like she was defeated, you know? She felt like she was defeated because she knew how much I cared about this girl. And she was sort of a rebound, if you want to call it that. I mean, I'm just being honest. She was sort of a rebound, and it wound up being to something that turned into something serious, because we were having a child as kids. She was a year younger than me, so she was about 16, I was about 17, or however it was at that time. I'm just still in the world where I'm just like, you know what? Do what you gotta do, because I'm just gonna live my life at this point, because I can't deal with both of you guys here. Somebody had to go, and I didn't want to tell her to leave, and I didn't want to tell her to leave, because it was just like, hey, I care about you, but I'm in love with you. You get what I mean? Like, how can I even justify telling you to go, and I'm still dealing with this person here, whatever case may be? Or how can I justify telling you to stay when I'm still, you know, dealing with this person? So she leaves, she goes back to her mom's house. Am I proud of this? Maybe, maybe not. Me and Juliet, like, just that, from that point that my son mother left, we picked up from like where we left off. We slept together that night, we did everything. I was just like in bliss. I literally had no remorse, because I didn't bring it on me. I didn't bring the situation to the home. Like, I didn't bring it there. It just happened. It was just like, I didn't know what to do. So long story short, me and Juliet starting to get, I'm talking about, we were together every day, because now we're together every day because we're living in the same. My mother let her stay there. Which I was just like, at some point I was kind of like, yo, don't let her stay here, because I know where this is gonna go. I'm gonna fall back into this rabbit hole again, because I fell in love, like fall flat, break my nose, get back up, hold my nose, and be like, I still love you, type of stupidness, like that type of love. You get what I mean? So every day we with each other, we hanging out with each other. Well, she was hanging out with my friends, and she wound up getting close to one of my best friend's girlfriend at the time. This girl, my best friend's girlfriend, she wasn't mentally stable, and her mom wasn't mentally stable either. So we used to go over to the house, to my best friend's girl's house, and like visit her mom and stuff like that, and talk, because her mom was like kind of the cool mom. Like, she'll let you smoke or drink or whatever the case may be in her house, because like I said, she wasn't all the way there. Like, she was a real cool mom, but she just wasn't all the way there. So they started getting close. Juliet and my best friend's girlfriend at the time started getting close, so they started hanging out every day. And now by this time I already graduated school and everything, so we you know, we're quote unquote grown now. We're trying to we got jobs and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. So when she came, of course she didn't have a job. No, I'm sorry, she had a job. She worked at McDonald's, but she used to do little stuff, like she had a manager. They used to take her home, and they used to sit out in front of the house, and they would sit there and conversate for a while. I didn't know they were out there until one day I just went out there, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing out here? Like, why are you sitting around this dude like this? Why you, whatever case may be. Fast forward a little bit, she wound up quitting that job, because I'm like, look, something going on here. You can't work there no more. Like, I don't like what's going on. Like, it's not even cool with what y'all doing right now. So she quits the job. Now, her and the best friend's girlfriend at the time, they started going quote unquote job hunt. Now I was kind of simping at this moment. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was simping. I was really simping over this girl. I would call her, you know, hour probably. Just like, yo, you good? Like, while they out there searching for jobs. And she would call me too. She would be like, hey, I'm out here, you know, we did or whatever. So one day I call her. She didn't pick up. I'm like, okay, it's not usual. All right, cool, whatever. I call her again within that same hour. Didn't answer. So this was maybe around 2 in the evening. When I say I called that girl over and over and over and over and over and over, oh my God, I'm not even proud of this. This is so freaking stupid. Oh my God, this is so stupid. I'm not proud of this at all. But I called this girl over and over and over. She would not answer the phone. Finally, she picks up around 1 in the morning, and she says, no, I'm sorry. Let me go back a little bit. She picks up in the evening. She picks up around like 6 o'clock in the evening, and she says, hey, I got a job at Uno. Now, Uno's is my favorite spot. Uno's is, I don't know if it's still there now because I haven't lived in Baltimore in a while, but Uno's is in the Inner Harbor, and it's a pizza spot. That time, that was my spot. I love the deep dish pizza, everything. I used to go there every weekend. That and Olive Garden. That was just like my 2 spots back then. Like, I just loved it. So I'm like, cool, you got a job at Uno's? All right, cool. That's what's up. Like, I can get some discounts, you know what I'm saying? Woo, I'm thinking like that. You know, I'm kind of thinking like that, and I'm happy for. I'm like, you got a job. Cool, that's what's up. And you got a job at the spot that I love. I'm waiting. She said, I'm gonna call you when I go on break. I'm like, all right, cool. Now, I'm not thinking at the time, you just don't start a job that same day. Not at Uno's. Like, you gotta go through training, you gotta go through all of that, you gotta go through paperwork, I'm a kid. I'm not thinking at that moment what's going on. So as the night progresses, I'm like, she hasn't called me yet. Now, mind you, it's getting later and later and later. I know what time Uno's closed. Uno's ain't closed at no 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm calling her. She finally picks up at about 1 in the morning. And I said, where you at? She's like, oh, I'm in a hack. Now, hack is Uber before Uber, where you in Baltimore you do this thing where you just hold your hand out like this and the person pulls up and they say, oh, where you going? Oh, I want to go such and such. Cool. How much? Boom. $5. All right, take me up the road. Boom. It was Uber before Uber. It's like whatever. So she said, I'm in a hack and I'm at the 7-Eleven around the corner. Like, you in a hack at 7-Eleven? Why you not on your way to the house? Oh, because the hack man wanted to get something from 7-Eleven. I said, all right. So now my wheels is turning. I'm like, nah, this don't sound right at all. This don't sound right. So I said to myself, you know what? Let me go outside and wait on the porch for her and see who she's pulling up with. So I'm standing on the porch. I'm waiting. I'm like, it's only around the corner. Like, we lived in Garden Village. I think it was on Sinclair Lane. Something like that. That's like a 5-minute drive, if that, depending, especially at this time of night, there's nobody on the road. So I'm waiting. All of a sudden, I look to my right and I see her walking up the block. From where the alley is, there's an alley where you could walk, where you could cut through to get to another main street to get out of the neighborhood. And we lived on like a back street. So I'm sitting and I'm waiting on her. And she walks, like I said, she started walking up the street and Now I'm mad, cause I'm like, what is she doing walking? It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning at this time. Like what is she doing walking? She's strolling up the street. She walks up. Now as she walk up, there's a woof of smoke coming off of her, and I'm like, yo, why she smell like smoke? So I'm not even saying nothing yet. I'm so pissed. I'm like, she trying to, hey baby, give me the little type of. I'm like, all right, go upstairs. Let's do this. Like I'm not damn near talking to her like a kid. Like, cause I'm just like, I'm pissed at this moment. Like, you showing up at my mother's house this late. You disrespected me. You disrespected my mother's house. Woo, all the case may be. Now she goes upstairs. And I'm like, she has on a white shirt, black pants, and these like the little baby doll type of shoes. And I'm looking at her clothes and I'm like, there's not a speck tomato sauce, flour, anything. There's nothing that indicates that she would be working at a pizza place. So I said, yo, why you don't have nothing on? I said, no, I'm sorry. Let me rewind. I said, why do you smell like smoke? Oh, because I was working in the smoking section. Who knows this is my favorite spot? There's no smoking section. What are you talking about? You was in the smoking section. What are you talking about? Oh, no, outside. They let us smoke outside. I'm like, nah, this don't sound right. Something ain't right about this. Like, you reek of smoke. Like, you reek of it. Like, it's not even like a, bud smell or like none of that. It's like a nasty smell. And I'm like, yo, why you don't have anything on your clothes? Why you don't have anything, any stains, anything? Oh, I was just being careful. I'm like, yo, something ain't right here. And I'm telling her, I'm like, yo, something ain't right here. This don't make sense to me. And she started like getting aggressive with me. She started like, I can show you my tips. So she takes her bag and empties her bag on the bed. All these damn tips she got was all singles. Singles like a mingle. And I'm looking at her like, when did people started giving singles as tips? Like, it's just all your tips are singles, maybe 1 or 2 5s or whatever the case may be, here and there, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, something ain't right. So then I said, you know what? I'ma sleep on this. Whatever happens. A few weeks later, at this time I was working security. I was doing a security job at Red Cross. And I'm sitting there at the desk, and all of a sudden my homeboy called me and he says, hey, I saw Juliet downtown. I'm like, okay, cool. She worked downtown. She worked at the Uno's, I'm just letting it be like what it was. He like, nah, but something ain't right, because I was with this chick, and when I saw her and I introduced the chick that I'm with to her, she said, when Juliet walks off, she says, hey, I know that girl. This is my friend's quote unquote little thing he was dealing with at the time. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to put him out there because I don't want to put him out there. So she says to him, hey, I know that girl. He like, how you know my homeboy girl? Like, you at this, and a little backstory, the lady was older. She was in her mid-20s maybe, something like that, because she used to deal with an older guy that was married, which is a whole nother story itself too. And he was hanging with her and dealing with her, whatever the case may be. And she used to be a stripper, but she's not a stripper at this moment because she just had a baby. But she still goes to the strip clubs because she likes to support, because she like, I'm a stripper, or ex-stripper, whatever you want to call it at the time. And she like, look, I like to go and I like to, still be a patriot to the strippers, and I like to do my thing. So he's like, yo, how do you know my girl? She like, yeah, I don't know, but I seen her face before. So y'all know where I'm going at with this. Then all of a sudden, he said a few minutes, maybe like an hour later, she said, oh, I know where she was at. I seen her and the other girl she was with stripping at this club that I used to work at. So my homeboy, bells and whistles start going off in his head. He like, what? She doing what? Man, let me call him right now real quick. He like, yo, Curse, like, yo, you know, this is working at such and such, such and such. Man, when I say, man, I felt like a weight was just like on me and like my legs went numb. I'm sitting down. I'm glad I was sitting down because I probably would have just dropped because I was just like, it started to come to me. I'm like, that would make sense why she had all these ones and why she was smelling like smoke and why she was doing all these different things. I'm just like, yo, there's no way in the world that this woman is really stripping. Like, but it came all together. Like, I'd say it makes sense now why this woman had so many ones and so many different things. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. So I get on the phone, I call her, I said, hey, you need to leave out my mama house now. You would thought it was my mother, it was my house, right? You need to leave out my mother house right now. Get all your shit and get out now. Now I said some more unsavory words to her, but of course it's YouTube, so I can't really say what I really want to, what I said. But I called all, I called out her name. I called out because that's how it was to me. I was like, she is that to me. She is a hoe. She's a whatever. She's all of that to me because I don't like dating strippers. Till this day, I don't like dating strippers. It's not my thing. I just don't do it. I don't feel the need. I don't feel like one of my friends can go to a strip club and go see my woman naked at any given time and come back to me like, hey, I saw your girl out. What you saw? At the club. Like, no, that's not whatever I have. If my friends is lusting over her, hopefully not, they're just lusting off of her because with her clothes on and they just not able to go and go slap her ass when they want to and all that. Anyway, I digress. So I tell her she gotta go. Man, she wound up wrecking my room. Man, she started, my little brother was there, and my little brother said she took all her dirty underwears and rolled up in my sheets and all types of stuff, and she just did the worst to me, like the worst. And I'm just looking at this girl like, yo, no, not looking at, I'm saying to myself like, why would she do this, man? Like, why she just didn't tell me? Why didn't? But I never, at this time, I didn't even know I wouldn't date a stripper. And I think that's why I wouldn't date a stripper now, is because of her, because she lied to me about it. Like, I think if she would have came to me and said, hey, look, I got a offer to be a stripper or to be a dancer or whatever the case may be, I don't know what I would have said. I probably would have said, hell no, but still, at least gave me the option to say, hey, cool, I'm cool with this. She never gave me that option. And when I say I was heartbroken for the second time with this girl, when I say I didn't know what to do at this point, I just like, yo, just leave my life, man. Just leave my life, man. So to me, I can never date a woman that is a stripper, that is a prostitute, that is any of those type of things, because like I said, I got morals. And you know, I do visit strip clubs and all that stuff, but she just can't be my woman. You just can't be my woman. But there is a third part to this story about after the fact, when she left, and all the things that I found out about her after she left. It was crazy, all the stuff that I found out about her. So if you want to hear part 3, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's your boy URBEN CURRSE. It's UNDI TV, where everything is undiluted. Thank y'all for watching. It's your boy.